Guys, I've been playing Fortnite on this early 2018 15-inch MacBook Pro, and it's been a pretty good experience, so let's take a look. So yeah, as I said, playing Fortnite on this MacBook Pro has been a pretty good experience. And for this video, we're going to test it in, I think, 4 ways. We're going to test it natively under macOS, with an eGPU, and without an eGPU. And then we're going to test it under GeForce Now. And then last, we're going to test it under Windows 10 via Boot Camp. So let's now have a look at what the specs of this machine are. This is obviously a MacBook Pro 15-inch from 2018. Its processor is a 2.9 GHz Intel Core i9. Its memory is 32 gigabytes of DDR4 memory, which has actually been improved from its predecessor. Its graphics is a Radeon Pro 560X with 4096 megabytes of VRAM, but it also has an Intel UHD graphics 630 with 1536 megabytes of VRAM. Okay, so those are the specs of this 15-inch MacBook Pro. They're pretty damn good, so I was very interested to see how Fortnite would run on this machine. So let's get to it in real time this time. We're gonna have a look at how it actually runs. Okay, so before we actually jump down, let's have a look at what we're running the game at. So I'm running it at full screen, 1920 by 1080, frame rate is unlimited, 3D resolution is 85%, view distance is epic, shadows is medium, anti-aliasing is high, textures is epic, effects is epic, post-processing is epic, VSync is off, motion blur is on, and yada yada. So, the game runs pretty well at these settings. I'm getting around about 45 FPS. Will I get a kill? That is a slightly important question. Yes! Let's now test it on an eGPU and see if I can hopefully do better, people. Okay, I'm now going to test Fortnite on an eGPU, but which one is that? It's the Blackmagic eGPU, which is officially sold by Apple. I went out and got one because I wanted to test out an eGPU. The way that you connect an eGPU to Mac is fairly simple. Connect the power, step 1. Step 2 is connect a Thunderbolt 3 to the back of the eGPU and then into the Mac. What am I missing? Oh yeah, and then in order for the eGPU to actually be utilizing the Mac, you need to connect your monitor to the eGPU, not the Mac. So disconnect that here and connect it to the eGPU. Pretty simple, but it can be a little bit confusing at first. And now let's see what we can do. Okay, hello again, it's me, obviously. Okay, so once we hit the floor, we are getting around about 60 FPS. Whoa, that guy's gone. Oh dear. And that is not the gun we want to be using. Anyways, yeah, so I still died, but we did pretty well. I mean, the frame rate was actually quite a lot better from about, I don't know, was it 45, 50 to somewhat over 60 FPS. It did definitely improve. Okay, so now we are playing Fortnite under GeForce Now. GeForce Now is a cloud streaming service, if you didn't know. It allows you to play pretty much a lot of Windows-based games on Mac via the cloud. Okay, so we are now running Fortnite under GeForce Now, and we are getting somewhere close to like 100 FPS, which is damn well awesome. However, since I am here in Australia, it is somewhat blurry because my internet, while it is pretty decent for an Australian-based internet, whatever, it is still pretty bad. But we are still playing it with everything on Epic, 1080p, and it looks pretty damn good. apart from it being a little bit blurry, but you can't win it all, can you? Okay, so next we're going to try Fortnite under Windows 10 via Boot Camp. If you didn't know, Boot Camp allows you to install Windows 10 on a Mac, and Windows 10 is free from the Microsoft website, so it's really easy to install and get set up. Okay, so we've got the game running here, which is interesting because, in all honesty, since we have a high-end Mac, running this game isn't going to make much of a difference because our frame rate is about the same, settings are about the same, but if you have a lower-end Mac, it will actually be probably a significant increase when compared to a more high-end Mac with a dedicated GPU graphics. But yeah, so that is Fortnite running under Windows 10. It's about pretty much the same, but if you want more games, definitely install Windows 10 because you've got pretty much every game, almost. Okay, so that is Fortnite running on this MacBook Pro. Am I happy with the results? Sure, yeah, it's pretty good. With the eGPU, it can get somewhere close and over to 60 FPS, so that is nice. And having GeForce Now also is a good option if you don't have a good Mac. But yeah, it works pretty well. Optimizing it, you can get a pretty solid frame rate. Even though it is a high-end Mac, I am pretty impressed. But yeah, that is pretty much the video. Let me know your thoughts on what you saw here today and leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you are wanting to find more interesting content about Mac games and Fortnite. See ya.